So welcome to today's Utopia Living Show. I'm here with Chuck Beard, owner of Eastside Story, this wonderful creative bookstore in East Nashville that houses the collection of local artists and authors here in your bookstore, and would love to hear you tell us a little bit about how this all came about and how long you've been open.
Don't let the faces behind you fool you. Stephen King is not local. He is just book-inspired art around us. Eastside Story, yeah, we are Nashville's only all-local bookstore. The purpose is to have a platform for Nashville area authors and artists. All the books are either self-published or published and written by people that live, work, or play in the Nashville area. And all the great and wonderful art that's surrounding us is made by local artists, and it's either wordplay or book inspired.
Okay, awesome. Well, today's topic is pursuing your purpose while making a living, and I see that you've really done this. You were sharing with me that this kind of evolved from you entering into a contest.
Mm-hmm.
And you were sharing that it was the first time you really articulated this dream and this thought that you had, and this contest kind of pushed you into that, and you won the contest.
Yeah.
And so how long had you been, kind of playing around with the thought process of even having a bookstore?
Probably around roughly a year. I married an artist, so I'm married into the art world, so most of my friends are musicians or writers or artists and creative folk in their own right. And I noticed that there was one, that most of my friends, I'm being biased here, are more creative and are better and more talented than the ones on the billboards and stuff like that, musically speaking, always. But then they do have venues around town that kind of cater and platform to them, that they have the opportunities. And all of my friends that are authors and writers don't really have that opportunity. I mean, we're lucky to have a few bookstores in town that are great and suffice to that need as far as a reader, but as far as writers go, there's not that place. So I kind of stumbled into that idea and let it develop.
Okay. And you were sharing with me, well, you're actually an artist in your own right, because you're a writer, and you have been featured in a number of publications, but even in the latest Native magazine. Yeah. So you have 2 stories in here, and you wrote the cover story. And so you're getting your MFA, your Master's of Fine Arts. So you're just as much an artist as everyone else.
Well, yeah. I distinguish artists as people that can paint and draw better than I can on the stick figure. But creative. I would say I'm an aspiring creative author.
Right.
Yeah.
How many different authors do you have featured in Eastside Story?
I'd say at right about now, I'd round about 100 people. So it's been snowballed, kind of just connecting the dots within the viral call for authors and just friends of friends that found out about this place so far.
And what would you say were some of the things that you did to get yourself up and going, especially so quickly, that might encourage others to not continue to sit on their dream, but to actually start moving in it? I
married a creative doer, and she, as soon as...
Emily, right?
Emily Harper Beard, EF Harper in the art world. And, it's I kind of said it was my idea, but it was her vision, that the end result of what's going on right now. And just always bouncing off ideas, whether it be the name or the color of the paint behind us, or, the shelving and the design. It's more or less having that other person that you trust, or whether it be within yourself, that critique and something that can someone that can push you and push your ideas further along better. So it doesn't have to be a wife, it could be your best friend or somebody that you value their opinion.
Yes.
And that they, as long as they, that they believe in you, then you're not scared to jump off and do that next step. So.
I think that's huge. I think that's huge in paying attention to who your influences are and who you have to help speak life into your dream and encourage you. And so I think that's great that you are self-aware and recognizing that having a life partner and a wife that not only is creative too, but also that you bounce things off of and helps to feed and fuel that is wonderful. And I think we do have to be very conscientious of that. As a life coach, I'm very much a person that believes in making sure that we're surrounding ourselves with relationships that help to add to us and multiply us and make us better. And I feel that all of the great things I've accomplished have been because I've had people around me speaking and believing in me. So I think that's great.
And yeah, you said, you spoke of that one idea that won the contest, but I mean, if my wife was in here, she would say he's full of them. And, I usually go with the approach of I will dish out every idea I have, and if she says that maybe we should try the next one, then I know that I should probably go back to the drawing board. And if she says that sounds pretty good, then I know that it's something brilliant. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are a dynamic team, dynamic duo. And she painted these wonderful walls, or came up with the color, which I totally love. This turquoise makes you feel very alive, and looking at color therapy and what turquoise represents. It's a color of communication and empathy and happiness, and you definitely feel that when you come in here.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line of the Eastside Story anyways. It's whether it's written word, it's just the power of word. Not sounding too religious here, but communication and noticing that it needs to be better between people. So
absolutely. And when you talk about power of word, I picked up one of these cute rings. So they have everything. They have not only books, but they have jewelry and necklaces and hand-bound journals and all kinds of neat stuff. I'm gonna show you a little artistic book art. And this is actually...
This is Anne Frank, and that's painted by artist Jeff Bertrand. He's a local talent here.
Beautiful. And there are so many other creative things. So we'll take a look at some of these other pieces that you have here in the store. And I like the way you were sharing with me that even in trying to get some of the design ideas, looking at Pinterest, which I love Pinterest. And so...
it was a savior for us, for sure.
Just creative ways to get creative inspiration, just kind of fueled inside, and it manifests itself very well here.
Yeah, and it's obviously like, oh well, somebody might walk in and say, "Are those wine crates that are so creative?" And I'm just like, well, it goes back to the whole idea and sharing ideas, and we probably got it mostly from Pinterest, and so that's not stealing ideas; it's just taking an idea and making it better and how does it fit into your life.
Right, and these are the wine crates here on the wall here. Over here?
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of those and from various friends in the wine business and kind of stained them ourselves.
How cool. And seeing how you were able to house different pieces of art and books and use it as a display, that is very neat.
And it's very useful, especially for the amount of space we have here since it's so limited.
Right.
In the actual store.
Okay. And so you were sharing with me all of these other creative endeavors that you're a part of, including some events here in East Nashville that your space doesn't have quite the space to house, but that you're going to be doing something with Rumors Wine Bar. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Because our space is limited, we will have readings out in the front porch, and we've had radio shows out there and different things within the creative cul-de-sac is what I like to say about the idea hatchery. But for the Eastside storytelling idea, I'm going to utilize Rumors, which is basically our next door neighbor, and they're very enthused about it, and starting November 6th, about twice a month, every other Tuesday, more or less, we'll have an author matched up with a featured local musician and basically have the author do a reading from the book or work that they're working on that they have in the store. And then the featured artist will, after that, do about 30 minutes of like a VH1 storyteller set. And then we'll interview them both together. And then kind of just have a live, fun night out of it. So 30 people is the max that can come, and it's just a limited space and a limited time together. So
can people RSVP or get tickets in advance?
At first, we're not going to sell tickets, and we're just going to be straight up RSVP through Rumors, and then we'll just see how it goes. You know, we know kind of a template for that we want to try for the first two, but like anything, it'll end up changing and probably be better than what we imagined. So if it works,
I'm sure it will be. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say to encourage anyone else that has a dream or a goal or a vision to have their own business and they're just kind of maybe a little afraid to step out?
Yeah, I would say first, get your idea concrete down and one, make it realistic. If I had tried to do this a year ago because of life and different circumstances, it probably wouldn't have worked. And just recognizing and getting that second opinion and eye of your friends and trusted people to let you know and reaffirm your idea and emotions and that this opportunity is for the taking. And once you have that, it's just a matter of being at a crossroads and saying, okay, it's time for me to do this, or if I don't do this, I know I'm going to regret it. So just making sure, and nothing's easy. I mean, I'm not Scrooge McDuck over here diving in coins, but I know that, we're going to get paid in opportunities, and that's what life's about anyways.
I like that. Yeah. Getting paid in opportunities, and I think that's valuable because a lot of times people don't recognize that when you feel that you're doing something for free, that's a very limited view of looking at something, because we are often paid in opportunities and relationships and doors opening in ways that we could have never imagined. And so it's not always about an immediate dollar at that time, but it can pay multiple dividends in the future. And I've built a lot of my business with that philosophy, not always looking for something a dollar right then, but what will it open the doors to later? And
that was one of the initial ideas with this, is that certain contests I had in mind that I'll do later is just having in a place that that maybe a local kid that's 10 or 11 right now that loves reading might see this platform and see the payoffs of some of the other local writers having that platform, and then chase after that dream, and then maybe one day I'm not getting choked up because of that, or I'll just
it's okay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have another famous author out of Nashville that wouldn't have been here if we hadn't been here. I'm not taking any credit, but it's just one of those things where, things don't necessarily pay off when you want them to the first week you open something. It's about those things and the connections and people and relationships that follow out of that.
Right, and sticking to it. And you definitely saw a need. And from just being aware and paying attention to your friends and the artist community that you were already a part of, and recognizing that there's something missing for the written art in terms of a place to support and house local artists or local writers. So I think that's great that you saw that.
And just the combination of the authors and artists. There's a lot of, obviously, music around town, and they look to different album covers and stuff like that. But then, I've already had some friends that weren't even in tune with, I can do book art, and then I could meet this author, and then I have a cover idea for a story that you may have, and then something comes out of it that wouldn't have been there if we hadn't been open. So
right.
It's pretty fascinating.
Well, this place is great. It feels wonderful to be in it, and I'm happy that you and I met, and happy to have had you be a part of the Utopia Living Show.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie. This is where we did her interview. How can people find out more about Eastside Story?
You can go online at various social media networks. On Facebook, it's Eastside Story TN, as in Tennessee.com.
Okay.
And the same thing with the website and Twitter. And I'm getting choked up again. No, it's so good. It's really a reality. It's happening. Or it's at 1108 Woodland Street in the Idea Hatchery. So come see us in person.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Make it a utopian day.